Hello there. This is my automotive box. And what I mean by that, I have a box. I did a video a while back about a box that I keep in my automobile for emergency situations. This is the box that has the tools that I do actual work on the vehicle when it's sitting in my yard or whatnot, when I actually have to do a repair on it and it's not a quick fix kind of thing. So I'm going to do another video on screwdrivers. Yeah, what could be so important about screwdrivers that I would do 2 videos on screwdrivers? Well, I never thought I'd do another one either, but things have changed and I need to address that and in my tools, and I thought that I would do a video about it here. So I want to look at the screwdrivers that I have. This screwdriver, this type of screwdriver here, these are the Craftsman USA. I don't know if these are still made in the USA or if they switched to Taiwan or China or someplace like that. But I have used these type of screwdrivers for a very long time. They're an old standby that everybody's grandpa used, you know, and well, let me set them down here. I don't really have a whole lot of room. I was trying to do this in a little bit different setting. I have a more appropriate setting, so stand by. Let's see if we can move this down a bit now. Alright, let's move it there, and that's my recording device for audio, so ignore it. But anyway, I mean, I have all kinds of screwdrivers that I've picked up, even got a few nut drivers, although most of them I have hammered on and driven the shaft down into the handle. I need to actually replace them at a later date. Just a lot of different screwdrivers that I picked up over the years that I use when I need screwdrivers. And these have worked really well for me. This is my favorite screwdriver that I ever owned. I believe this to be a Klein. It's a US made screwdriver. The thing of it is, the tip is damaged. I don't know if you can see that, but it's damaged here. It's got a little lip now instead of this angle being straight. It's a number 2 Phillips, and so it doesn't fit fasteners anymore. And so it doesn't do me any good anymore. I don't use it. I've not been able to get rid of it because it's a screwdriver that I absolutely love. And so, yeah, it took me a while. And I was gonna do all Klein, just get like a 6-piece Klein set. But the problem that I'm having with my screwdrivers is not what brand they are or anything like that. The problem that I'm having with most of my screwdrivers, this screwdriver is an exception, and the bigger standard screwdriver Craftsman isn't too bad. These aren't very bad. I like these, but most of these Craftsman screwdrivers, the handles are too small. And I'm getting older now, and I mean, this handle, I'd love to find a set of screwdrivers that had a handle like this. It's a hard handle. I like the hard handles more than the new rubberized, but you know what, I'm not going to be too picky. But this is number, I don't know, this says it's a number 2. But this tip does not fit. These are old Popular Mechanics. So is this. These were fantastic screwdrivers, but once again, the handle is too small. It hurts me just to grasp that right now. If I have to put any kind of torque on it, actually turn and use this screwdriver, hopefully it will be a long time before a lot of my viewers are dealing with arthritis. And I have arthritis. I have carpal tunnel. I have nerve damage in my hands and arms from diabetes that was out of control forever and a day. And I did not know it for decades. That kind of thing. I have injuries to my hands from over the years. I was a boxer at one point. I was stupid all the time. You know, as a young man, I would do stupid things like punch brick walls when I was mad and end up having to doctor my hands up because I tore them all up. Yeah, my temper has gotten me into more trouble than anything else has ever gotten me into. Thank God I got old enough and wise enough to learn how to somewhat control it, so that it doesn't do those things to me anymore. But anyway, I need to replace these. Now, these Craftsman, the tips on these Craftsman, I absolutely love. They fit a fastener better than any other screwdrivers that I've ever had. I just cannot handle these small handles anymore. Pun intended. So let's move these off. I went to my local, I'm going to keep these two because there is nothing wrong with those two. But I went to my local Home Depot. I first started looking in Lowe's, and I'm just laying some tools down over here out of the way. What is this? It does not say. It says, it's a Phillips number 1. I'm going to hang on to that. And this is a Phillips number 0. And then I'm going to keep this tight because the handles don't matter as much for those. I'm going to keep my little Phillips stubby. They don't matter as much for those because we're not going to be putting 400 pound of torque on those screwdrivers. Okay. So we're going to hang on to these. I'm going to go ahead and put these back in my drawer because they are going to be useful. And I went to my local Home Depot. I went to Lowe's first and looked at the Cobalt line and a couple of other lines. There was a set of screwdrivers from a company called Lennox. They have a blue and white handle with red lettering, so red, white, and blue. The soft comfort grip and hard plastic combination grip that's popular now, that feels really good in your hand. And I almost bought them, but I watched because the reviews on them are really good. But I watched a video, and one of the videos that I watched, the gentleman said, well, these have a lifetime warranty, but you can't take them back to your local Lowe's. You have to deal with the manufacturer. So I was like, no thank you. So what I'm going to do, what I did actually, is went to Home Depot, and what I looked for was a set of screwdrivers that were well made and would fit my hand, that had larger handles that I could use. The first thing that I picked up, this is Milwaukee's all steel core or all metal core demolition screwdriver set. It's a number 2 Phillips and I believe it's a 5/16. Let me see. I can't see because I'm old. Yes, 5/16 standard or slot head, or what I call a flat head. Yeah, I know that's not a technical term. I don't really care. I call them flatheads. I've called them flatheads since I was a little boy. That's what that is, a flat-headed screwdriver to me. If you got a problem with that, you're on the wrong video. Okay, this channel is not for guys that are really picky about what something's called. This channel is not for pros that use tools on a regular basis to feed their families, and it's not for guys that are crazy about expensive tools because I don't got none. This is for the average Joe. But I bought these first because, let's open the package and look. Once again, you should have a little pocket knife that you carry around with you. These are flipping lovely. They've got a nice fat grip. As soon as I took them out of the package and my hands hit these handles, they got almost a tri-lobe kind of thing going on. These are lovely. They have the little protectors. They're heavy duty. And they've got a decent weight and a really sturdy feel to them. They have the shaft goes all the way through the tool, and it connects to this butt cap here so that you can strike with them. The type of screwdriver is marked on the top, you see. Phillips and flathead. This is a number 2 Phillips and a 5/16 flathead screwdriver. For 3/4 to 90%, for 75% to 90% of the jobs that you will do around the home or even on a vehicle, engine wise, you're going to, these 2 screwdrivers and maybe a 1/4 inch slotted will handle pretty much all of those, unless you get into the interior and stuff like that, and then you're going to want little screwdrivers like these and stuff like that. But these are lovely. This package of screwdrivers, these 2 screwdrivers, both of them together, cost $13. That's a steal. Absolutely a steal. These are fantastic. They have an octagonal handle so that you can get a wrench on them to torque down in tight spaces. They're just a great, they look like a great set of screwdrivers, and I think that they will serve me quite well for pretty much the rest of my life. The handle's nice and fat. I can get a hold of it. Okay. So, these are going in the toolbox. And then I was looking around. Those are almost 90% of what I would need. But I always want like a couple of different sizes, and I don't mean tip sizes, although yeah I do, but lengths of screwdrivers. You know, that I keep hitting the wrong door. This 6-inch length would be good for a lot of things, but a smaller, a shorter type of screwdriver works a lot. Of 4-inch length is really a good choice in a lot of ways. And so what I did, I looked around at Home Depot. I almost bought the 6-piece set of Milwaukee to go with those. But for me, it looked to me like the handles were a bit too small on that screwdriver. So I looked for something else. And what I found was their Husky line. This is a number 2 4-inch Husky screwdriver. It's got a composite handle, or a kind of a rubberized handle. That feels really good in my hand. It's kind of squared off, or octagonal actually. And this actually feels better than the Milwaukee's do. And so I got, this was like $6 a piece. They sell them individually, or you can buy a set. Now I don't need a 20-piece set of screwdrivers. I have a small little box right here, a little 20-inch or 21-inch Craftsman little red 3-drawer toolbox. And I don't have room for 20 screwdrivers, and I'll never use 20 screwdrivers. The majority of the time, I'll use that and a 4-inch, 1/4-inch, or 5/16 screwdriver. The majority of the time, these are the two that I will reach for. But these are lovely. They feel really good in the hand. I picked up a 6-inch, 1/4-inch slot head or flat tip screwdriver, and a 3/16 4-inch flat tip screwdriver. And these screwdrivers, that set right there, that's a 6-piece set. And for Phillips and slotted screwdrivers, I don't need any more. And if I need smaller screwdrivers, then I can use these Craftsman, because what happens is manufacturers, the smaller you go on these screwdrivers, the smaller and tinier they make the handles. And it don't matter if we're talking about these brands or any other brand. I'd love to see a screwdriver like that had a fat handle like this. But they don't make them. So it doesn't make a dime's worth of difference whether I switch these out or not. They're all going to be tiny little handles anyway. So for that, like I said, I will end up getting a set of these Torx screwdrivers. Harbor Freight makes a set that's got the tri-lobe handle, or whatever you want to call it. I forget what I called it before. And so I'll probably pick that up because they are limited use. But that was my decision and why I made it. And I absolutely recommend any of these. These are fantastic screwdrivers. And I think they're going to serve me well. Thanks for watching. Later.